if Magda were here right now, she would probably be blushing because she was very shy that way. But she would always have some funny story to tell everyone to make them feel comfortable in being around. That's how she was. She just had a way of making you feel comfortable. And we would, for a moment, with her funny stories, forget our sadness at one point or another. I will miss my cousin very dearly, but I'm so grateful to having known her and having her as a cousin, because I'm glad we could choose our friends, but we actually got to choose our family. And perhaps I wrote something very quick. It says, perhaps that there are not the stars, but rather openings in heaven where the love of our loved ones pour through and shine down upon us to let us know that they're happy. Life growing up, your first cousin are your friends, your first friends in your life, because you don't have any other friends. You're only 3, 4, 7, 8, and they're the first ones that you meet, and they teach you everything. She, like the rest of our cousins, would get dressed together and put on their makeup and style themselves up before they would go out on a Friday night or a Saturday night. She was a dancer. She loved those capizios, and I will tell you, the makeup and the barbizon, she had it all. She traveled everywhere. Between that and Solid Gold and American Bandstand, there was no way of saying anything because she would shoot you down in a heartbeat. But I will tell you this, you will be greatly missed. And I know that when you went through those doors, the first person that jumped in your arm was Randy, followed by your dad, Leo, and your aunts and your uncles and grandma. That's for sure. And right now, I'd like to open the floor to anybody else who'd like to say anything on behalf of her. Thank you so much for coming. I so appreciate it.
Magda was my cousin, but she was more like a sister. We spent a lot of time together. We did a lot of events together. I most remember Magda for always wanting to go to the beach, the outdoor life she loved. So in her honor, I have some words to say. Today we are here honoring, celebrating, and remembering our beloved Magda Perez. She was a woman full of life and courage, with a stubborn streak that showed up when she set her mind to do things, and the things she loved the most. Magda was born on March 30th, 1956, to her mother Rosa, my aunt, and her father Leo, my uncle. She was raised knowing the love of family and many friends. At a very young age, she showed an interest for dance, and boy can she dance. She was an amazing Latin ballroom dancer. She danced away like a dancing queen, as we used to call her. She hustled her way into competitions, and she won many, many events. She also loved the outdoor life, like I said. She loved the beach. She was an avid traveler, and her favorite spot was Hawaii. Magda's last year here on Earth was a difficult one. It was heartbreaking to see her struggle with her health. At first we didn't know, but little by little we saw her. My husband and I used to visit her and take her out. And we used to ask her, but Magda always didn't want anybody to feel her pain, so she wouldn't say anything. While Magda was taken too soon from our world, her imprint of who she was will never leave us. She was loving daughter, loving granddaughter, cousin, godmother, and an amazing friend. Magda, until we meet again, we will always remember and miss you. I love her, Magda.
To say something, Magda was my neighbor for over 30 years. We went dancing, we went to the beach, you know, on our Hawaii trip, and we laughed. She'll call me at midnight and be like, what are you doing? nothing to go for ice cream. She was like, I really like that Cuban spot up in Manhattan. And we had like a lot of good times. One thing I didn't see eye to eye with her was the smoking. I wanted you to quit smoking, not because you were dying. I wanted you to quit smoking because I wanted to see you live. You chose not to. I wanted to see you fight for life because you were a fighter. I didn't want to see you here today. Until we meet again, Magda. Peace.
So I'll say it in Spanish first. Pues nosotros crecimos en Puerto Rico, entonces Magda y yo nos conocimos y nos visitábamos de momento. A veces yo visitaba en Puerto Rico y a veces nosotros visitábamos en Nueva York. Pero no sé si fue la primera vez que nos visitó, pero me acuerdo una vez que ella visitó y yendo al aeropuerto estaba la canción de los Beatles, Let It Be. And that's the first time I remember feeling nostalgic because we were saying goodbye. And I knew that it was going to be a long time. Empezó en español y sigo en cambio en inglés. La canción de los Beatles era una canción que me dio nostalgia porque se acababan las vacaciones, ella se iba y yo sabía que no la iba a ver por mucho tiempo. Pero siempre recuerdo ese momento guiando al aeropuerto, escuchando esa canción después de la visita de Magda. Y cuando veníamos para acá, yo veía que ella salía con sus amigas y se arreglaba. Yo nunca he sido mucho de make-up y nada de eso, pero sí siempre admiré que ella siempre andaba bien arreglada, bien elegante, siempre se cuidaba. Y ella vivió su vida en sus términos y caminó, hizo su transición hacia mejor vida en sus términos también. Aunque la vamos a extrañar, pero no está sufriendo, no está en dolor y está descansando en paz. Y yo sé que ella te agradece lo buena mamá que fuiste con ella. Tú fuiste una mamá ideal, porque siempre que yo llamaba a Titi Rosín, yo pensaba que era Magda porque ella se acaba de ir y ella siempre me llama cuando llegue a la casa. O Magda se acaba de... o Magda viene para acá, o le estoy haciendo una comida para Magda. Entonces ellas siempre los fines de semana compartían juntas. Entonces esa vida que le diste fue una vida ejemplar. Y que no te quede nada en el corazón de que le diste una buena vida de hija. So I'll try to translate. I said, so we grew up in Puerto Rico, so we didn't see each other. I'm Magda's cousin, Ida, and we would see each other for visits in the summer or visits during Christmas. And one of my first and fondest memory was when I was little and she visited. After the visit, we were driving to the airport, and the song Let It Be was playing on the radio. And I remember kind of like the first time I felt nostalgia and kind of connected that feeling of sadness for having a fun thing ending and having to say goodbye to my cousin that visited, and I didn't know how long since I would see her again. So spending time together during Christmas and coming here and seeing her, she was always very dressed up, very nice. I'm not a person of a lot of makeup and all that, but I always admired that she was very elegant and very put together. And I was telling my aunt about how much I know that she appreciated the mom that she was for her, the way that she cared for her, the way that whenever I called her, she'd say like, oh, I thought it was Magda calling because she's on her way home, or she's, I'm cooking for her because she's coming to visit. So they spent a lot of time together. She was a very, very loving mom to her. And she lived life in her own terms. And, we're sad because she made that transition into the next life in her own terms too. and we're gonna miss her. And I know that she's at peace and resting and no longer in pain. So rest in peace, Magda. We'll miss you. Gracias.
And I'll be praying for you every day, like I pray for my mom, Leo, everyone else in our family, Lucineda, Carmen, because I know you're with them. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Thank you.